Good evening, friends. Study with Apala Engineering and General Geology Parvin Singh book. So, in chapter 4, Geological Work of Waters, Dolines. Dolines, these are also termed as the shallow holes, sinkholes, and sometimes simply as sink. A typical dolines is a circular or oval depression which, when followed into depth, becomes a bowl-shaped or cylindrical in cross sections. These depressions are very often dry but may form temporary lake or pools in other cases. Dolines may be formed from either of two causes. First, due to solvent actions of water along the fractures of a rock body. Fractures of a rock bodies. In this process, the rock is gradually dissolved and removed part by part, leaving behind a depression. So this type of action is quite conspicuous at the surface. Due to collapse, due to collapse of surface rocks, these are obviously called collapse dolines. In such cases, roofs of cave sooner or later collapse when all the support from below has been dissolved by groundwater. Here, the collapsing roof are generally made of insoluble rocks. Dolines of either types may occur singularly or in clusters. In some cases, a number of adjacently located dolines may virtually co- coalesce Kolsk or combines, forming an irregular types of basins. Cave. These may be defined as naturally covered outer underground cavities of various dimensions that always have horizontal openings on the surface. They are similar to tunnel with the exceptions that caves does not normally have an exit, whereas a tunnels has an entries on one end and an exit on the other end. In caves, the entry point is invariably much smaller and narrower than the cavity behind that may extend from a meter or so to hundreds of kilometers or even more. Most caves are single chambered, that is, they have only one cavity. There are, however, numerous others example of multi-chambered caves, all chambers being generally interconnected. Different chambers in such caves may be located at any conceivable positions with respect to the main chamber, right, left, up, down, or laterally vertical at any angles. The most famous cave of the world, the Mammoth Cave in Kentucky, United States, is more than 250 kilometers in aggregate length. It consists of more than 200 chambers clustered together. In India, the natural caves of Sri Amarnath caves in Kashmir and the Vaishno Devi caves in Jammu are famous for their sacred importance and attract millions of pilgrims every year. These are examples of mountain caves of non-caste region but owes their origins definitely to the solvent action of groundwater on the country rocks, which is limestones in both the cases. Caves are formed due to the pronounced and prolonged solvent action of groundwater on the subsurface rocks. The groundwater attacks the soluble rocks slowly and progressively along the beddings, planes, joints, and others fracture surfaces and planes of weakness. The material dissolves from the rock, get drained out side by side, thereby exposing fresh surface for attack. Thus, the three most important conditions favorable for the formations of caves are heavy jointed, thick formations of soluble rock like limestone, sufficient and persistent Supply of groundwater are long times. Adequate natural drainage for the water that has already acted upon the rock. This is because the solvent power of groundwater decrease with the stagnations. It is also evident from the above statement that all the existing caves are in a process of growth and remain so till their roofs collapse or insoluble rocks are encountered on all sides or the groundwater supplies get dwindled. Thank you.